6,000 people got to touch it last night.
Yeah. You can't front on that.
I dig it.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the camera's there, to a special Nerdington post.
We're back, baby.
We're back in person. Will's back in Michigan for work, so we're recording. We're together.
He's back from
Yeah,
Michigan.
Back from
for
Michigan,
work.
Yeah.
in Chicago.
We're in Chicago. He's from Michigan.
Yeah, but we're
Those
here.
are two different states.
We're back, baby. We're back.
But there is one link.
There's-
He swam across.
I did.
Mhm.
I swim.
Yeah, that's why we all look so wet right now, because we just went for a swim.
That's right. It wasn't because we got rained on at dinner.
No.
No,
Of
we're
course
not
not.
losers. We wouldn't do that.
No.
Well, winners don't get wet.
That's right.
Unless they want
You
to.
hear that? Winners don't get wet.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
It
right.
wasn't my fault.
That's right, Aquaman.
Yeah.
That's why you'll never be a winner.
Is Aquaman still being played by the one guy?
Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited for that second movie, dude.
When it eventually
Super
comes
excited.
out because it got pushed back again.
Yeah,
I like that Namor guy.
Namor, because
Yeah.
he's Mexican.
Yeah. Well, I think I was talking to you about it. I like
Yeah.
when ancient cultures are still like ancient and Asian and not alien or futuristic. It's just like no, like magic. I'm super okay with like magic be represented.
I prefer Alien.
Mesoamericans are aliens, dude. How did they build those pyramids?
With their hands.
Yeah, with like after they were enhanced by space people to
Megatron came over,
Yeah. Haven't you seen the Transformers?
and it was
movies?
Megatron Optimus Prime because if it was Optimus, makes sense wouldn't be so good.
But I'm Walter.
I'm Senpai.
I'm Will.
We are
The
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 Nerdington Post.
same person.
Oh yeah, we back together. I ate too much. I got a Baskin Robbins, and I keep forgetting that when I want just a scoop, I gotta say I want a kid's version because this is a scoop to a fat cat, fat American fat
It was
culture.
the equivalent of like 2 scoops.
It's a cup.
I got iced coffee. I got iced coffee as a treat.
Yeah,
Because he's crazy.
this little baby boy's gonna be up all night playing
Yeah.
Strangers of Paradise with his coffee at
It's
8
gonna be
p.m.
super. It's gonna be super fun, man. I gotta get into the Bahamut traps.
That's right.
Speaking of Bahamut, you excited for the new edition of Dungeons and Dragons? Because I know you're a nerd.
I'm supposed to be playing Dungeons and Dragons today, but I skipped on it. That way I can do this. But my
Yeah, bro.
but my DM already has like some like choice words about it.
About one D&D, which is what they're calling 6th edition.
It's the whole thing with the tieflings that a lot of people have gripes with it, and in my head I'm just like it's a role playing game. You can put it in there if you don't want to for your campaign. Like you don't have to buy for it.
Yeah.
Like that, the amount of DMs that already like flex the rules for a lot of like things. Like I have yet to play a campaign where people actually, where the DM actually requires you to have the materials for your spells. Like I love like like high level spells, or like just like mid level spells. It's like this uses 1 copper stone and whatever, like
Right.
copper coin. It's like nobody uses that.
Yeah.
Just fucking cast your spell.
Right,
Who
yeah.
cares?
And the whole point is like the flexibility of you guys. Here's this toolbox that you can have fun with, and just if you don't like a certain thing, just
Exactly.
But if you have a stream where you're playing a D&D game, the fans will comment that like you're not playing by the rules perfectly. That's my
Fine.
experience of like watching one campaign on a YouTube
True.
channel.
Well, it
Just
worked
like,
for
yeah.
the McElroys. They were like very loosey goosey with the rules. They just wanted to tell a story, and they just.
That's all it's about, man. It's all
Yeah.
about telling a story, having fun.
My main gripe with it, and I think I've seen it like a lot, and only if I talked about it, it's like if you're gonna be playing a fantasy game, like what if it's a fantasy perfect world? What would you add racism to it?
Because that's the American way.
We learned from Tolkien. Anyone of darker skin, they're an orc. They just kill and they can't speak. We had a good Keeley this week. Oh, that, you know.
It was okay.
Gamescom.
It
I
was-
expect
it
a bunch
was-
of European stuff that doesn't appeal to us.
I,
We got that.
That's a mid-killing.
Very, very mid-keely.
You can't say that. You're too old. You look like a poser when you say it, dude.
You, fuck you.
He can say, look at how he's dressed. Well, he can say he got a fanny pack. He
I
can
got
say
a fanny
it.
pack. I wrote
So if I get a fanny pack, I can say it.
No,
You get started.
when you wear
You
a
get
fanny
started.
pack, it'll look like you're trying.
Anyway,
Yeah,
it wasn't that great.
it was fine.
It was,
I gave it a C.
it was fine if it would have been an hour long.
Yeah, it was too long.
I thought it was better than Key 3 this year.
Yeah.
There were more stuff I was excited about, like, but it had a similar vibe of here's just some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you don't care about it, you don't care about it, you just move on. It had a good pace to it. Can we agree on that?
It did have a good pace, but I still feel like it could have been just an hour.
Yeah, I just felt like a lot of dots.
You know, a lot of stuff that was just thrown in there. Like, oh, hey, they paid for it to have a spot in the opening show.
Okay, so maybe let me refresh. I don't think it might not have had a lot of dots, but it might have been a lot of the games that were announced were very samey. We're just very samey to each other.
There was a lot of stuff I didn't care about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the stuff that I did care about. Let's go through our favorite stuff, man.
Okay.
Something we all agree on is they announced this a while ago, Lies of P, and I thought, like, well, this sounds stupid because it's a Souls game inspired by Pinocchio, and they finally showed gameplay for it this year, and it's Bloodborne.
Yeah.
It's straight up Bloodborne.
It's
I'm
Bloodborne with a
sold.
different skin.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's
It
Korean.
looks really cool.
It's Korean.
It's
Yeah.
Bloodborne starring Timothy Chalamet
Yeah.
with a prosthetic arm. But it's like the pace of it, like even the font and the UI is almost the same as Bloodborne.
Right.
But the pace of the combat's there.
I like that.
The cat or your finger touching my back?
That's my finger.
Okay.
But
yeah, it has like Sekiro elements where you have, instead of like the gun for Bloodborne to parry, you have his Pinocchio's prosthetic arm that you could have as different sub-weapons.
It looked very smooth and yeah.
it looks more action heavy.
Mm-hmm.
The combat, the action reminded me more of a DMC title, but the combat was very like Soulsborne like. And I think the reason I'm pulling like DMC is just because of how pretty it looks.
Yeah.
Like,
And it was
flash-
fast.
It's because of the flourish. It has a lot
The
more
flow.
it has
Yeah.
a lot more flourish than from software games, so it just makes me
I
think.
can
Of,
agree
it
with
just
that,
I agree with that. It looks cool. I just don't really care.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm excited for it now. Like, I'm excited for Thymesia.
Mm-hmm.
That's on my GOG waiting or watch list. But when it actually comes out, we'll see if I actually get it. But I'm excited for it now
Right.
because, I mean, if somebody announces Bloodborne 2, who gives a fuck about Lies of P? But
Right.
until then, like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'll get this on a sale. It's definitely a good sale game.
Why is it like British when Pinocchio's Italian?
That again, just
Does Korea know?
everyone assuming all Europeans sound British.
Does Korea know they're different countries?
Maybe
Probably not.
it's by a European publisher, so
Mm.
you know.
Let them have their fun.
Let them have their fun. Lies of P. Stupid name. Stupid fucking name.
It's a really stupid name.
But it gains traction because
You know-
like Lies of Penis. And that's what we're all thinking.
You know, there's gonna be like people they're gonna say pie.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
the pie.
Who?
I made that mistake.
Who says pie?
You
It
work,
just says P.
you work that game stuff, you know.
Well, yeah, I know people are stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people will come and be like, "Oh, do you have that Lies of Pi game?"
You have the Pinocchio game.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
acceptable. But I don't like I'm fine with a fixed protagonist in a Souls-like game because that's how Thymesia is, but
Mhm.
I just don't like how he looks so Timothy Chalamet. It's
Well, Timothy Chalamet is just a psyop made by the government to
Is
sell
he?
movies.
do people like him?
No.
People like the movies that he's in, but not him specifically.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
He just some kind of douchebaggy.
Yeah. But
um,
he's a cool guy who makes custom 360 controllers.
is he a cool
That
guy?
was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I still picture him from like one scene from not sunflower, Wallflower.
He was an
being
in.
Wallflower?
He was an in person being the Wallflower.
Yeah,
That was Ezra Miller.
That's Ursula Miller.
they're the same person.
No.
Well.
One's being
One is more racist and violent.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Hates
One of
women.
but the other guy is just we don't like how he looks, but we could probably hang out with him.
Yeah.
He's like
He'd hang out with us.
He'd probably like we'd be talking about the same movies and be like,
Are we talking about Ezra or Timothy?
Timothy.
There's this really funny.
He played Timothy would play Fortnite with us.
I found a really funny video of like, oh my god, I can't believe that you guys are doing this Asian erasure. Like, don't you know about him? It's Timothy Chalamet, and they do a picture of Timothy Chalamet using the same like Chinese filter that a lot of like Chinese social media use with, and it's like Shimashi Chalamet, and so it's like an inside joke with me and my girlfriend.
is it like the one where it just brightens everything up?
Yeah, it's just a picture of him with like with all those facial features and the brighten up, written in Cantonese, and every single time I think of Timothy Chalamet, I just immediately my brain just goes to Shimoshi Chalamet.
Shimashi.
Yeah.
Shimashi.
Well, that was really Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
I thought it was Ezra Miller.
Before he got crazy.
Hey, he's probably always been crazy.
Yeah.
I think he surrendered himself though. He's like, yeah, I need to like.
They're like, yeah, I was dealing with a lot of shit for like a really long time. It's like, motherfucker, that was yesterday.
Yeah. That's a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like,
And then he posted on social media like saying, "Ha ha ha! I dodged the cops and shit."
Well, they are Flash.
the thing is, like,
They are the Flash, right?
yeah,
Okay.
that sort of like impulsive behavior thing, like grooming someone is hella premeditated, man.
Right.
You gotta do a lot of planning and effort to groom someone. This guy's just a piece of shit who probably has unchecked mental illness, but hopefully they get the help they need and we get that Flash movie.
I really want that.
Just get that
movie.
Flash movie out the door.
You know what I'm
If he's
pissed about
causing
though?
controversy,
I
just
wish
like-
we would get that fucking Batgirl movie now.
Who?
The Batgirl movie.
What happened?
Oh well, you don't know about the whole Warner Brothers everything?
like Warner Brothers is shaking up the DCU and like starting fresh with a 10-year plan. And
It's all Discovery, because Discovery is canceling a lot of projects that are already in the works. Some of them have already finished with principal photography.
some are finished shooting, like the Batgirl.
I know they've been doing a lot of like gutting when it comes to animation studios.
Because it's a tax scam. Because they could get a write-off and they'll get a shit ton of money, even though like this thing's done. But like, we would have made this much money, but it's canceled. So give us money, government.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
I was kind of excited about the Batgirl movie, but it's Batman's. It's in the Batman universe, of course. So I was excited about it.
I didn't like the stills. It's just like one shot of the main character in costume. Like, I wasn't feeling it.
I just wanted to see how Brendan Fraser was going to do as Firefly.
I just found out that there was a Batgirl movie, so I got no opinions on this.
But now,
Other than like, why bother making?
but
a
it was,
Batgirl
but
movie?
like a lot of people were like, "Oh, well, they're going to cancel that movie, but not the Flash movie," even though Ezra Miller has gone off the freaking deep end.
I would just rather them just stop making DC movies.
Oh man,
It's not
Aquaman
Disney.
is super fun.
Yeah, Aquaman was
It's super fun. I'm excited for the sequel.
I'm also excited for the sequel.
It's a stupid movie. Like the reason I saw it is I was listening to a podcast. They were talking about how stupid it was, like, but stupid fun. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take a shower.
And the second one's supposed to be like a teen buddy cop team up movie, and with him and Patrick Wilson, which is gonna be great.
Yeah.
Amber Heard, she's probably off abusing someone, so she won't be in it.
Hey man, if she wants to shit on my bed, she can shit any day, dude. I won't eat it. But I'll.
Aquaman. What's the-
They're both
that consumed my life for 2 minutes.
both of them are just shit people.
Oh, absolutely. She's fucking.
It's a Rango, pretty good movie.
Can't do it.
I saw Rango once. I remember liking it, but I don't remember it.
You're a dead man, William Blake. All right, is that a Jarmusch? Dead man. See Dead Man?
Yeah, we saw that in theater.
No, we saw. No, that
The
was.
Dead Don't Lie.
No, that was a boring ass movie. But the Jarmusch zombie movie. But back to Gamescom, gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah, Pinocchio.
Gentlemen. Yeah, Pinocchio, we're moderately excited for it.
Anything to try a new Souls like.
Something you guys were hyped about, which I didn't care because I support human rights.
Mm-hmm.
Where Winds Meet.
I
The Chinese RPG that during the first half of that trailer definitely looks like it's ripping off Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
like, and then it rips off Ghost of Tsushima, but then it goes to like ripping off Sekiro
Yeah.
and then Spider-Man.
It
But
ripped
it-
off a lot of games.
But the thing is, it's ripping off games that are good.
Yeah.
They're doing it and it looks good.
Not only are they
And
good,
yeah.
And the premise is good.
the gameplay is consistent with it. The games they're ripping off, open world
Exactly.
exploration with a.
Where your choices can determine if an
Yeah.
empire falls or
It's
rises.
more of an RPG than Ghost of Tsushima. So
And
this
the
is
and
exciting.
the transversal mechanics too on top of that, like they're just consistently like good. So I'm excited for it.
I am too.
Just mostly cause like I growing up like I was a sucker for like the whole like Sun Wukong like the
Wuxia
yeah
stuff.
all that kind of stuff because we used to get like a channel where they will play them in Spanish. So like I was somewhat familiar with this stuff, and then I found out about Dynasty Warriors. So like I like all that kind of shit,
Yeah,
like
nice.
romantic kingdoms and stuff like that.
Dude, yeah, growing up with like Once Upon a Time in China, fucking Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon when that came out, Hero.
Yeah.
So shit's cool. So I'm moderately excited for this, but again, I'm a good person. I support human rights, and I cannot support something where money's eventually going to trickle down to the Chinese Communist Party.
And that's why you gotta pick it up on sale. That's the news.
I just support my girlfriend and their people, so I get it.
No, who am I kidding? Like, China owns a piece of everything,
Yeah.
man.
China owns us.
Yeah, I love Pacific Rim, the sequel, and that was funded by
It was mostly just for the Chinese
not
market.
NetEase or what's the other big Chinese company in gaming? There's NetEase and
Tencent,
Tencent. Yeah, that was like a Tencent movie, I think.
I didn't know that.
they own so many fucking
Yeah.
things.
Well, I know Tencent owns a lot of shit, but
Mhm.
I didn't know they had
Tencent
the
owns a game we're playing, Fortnite. Tencent owns, I think, 49% of Epic, something like that. Like
we're
between
giving our
40
money
and
to the
49.
Chinese guy.
Yeah, China.
Are you
China.
ready? Are you ready for Genshin Impact to be in Fortnite?
No. I couldn't get into Genshin Impact. I played for like 10 minutes.
But where Winds Meet looks interesting. Looks good.
And then the game that I'm excited about because I love my weird trash, the Lords of the Fallen.
That was a
The
surprise.
Lords
That
of
was a
the
really big
I
surprise.
know.
I wasn't expecting that.
So like I knew it was coming out. I knew,
Yeah,
but
sure.
I knew it was also in development hell, so I was not
Yeah.
expecting it to be announced. And there's just something about like that '80s like rock music that they picked to be able to play it in
Like
the background
heavy
after it
metal.
dies. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like like it fits. I unironically like Lords of the Fallen. It does have a lot
It
of
is good.
issues.
It
It
is
does
good.
have a lot of issues, but it's fun.
Yes.
It's fun.
As soon as I saw the
Mhm.
rock formation, I'm like, Lords of the Fallen, baby. Because the reason I was super hyped for Lords of the Fallen,
Well, it was a little in between before Bloodborne.
yeah. But what got me into The Witcher 2 was producer Thomas Gap talking about how the whole team at CD Projekt Red loved Demon Souls.
Oh, okay.
So that got me to play Witcher 2, and then Thomas Gap left to be producer on Lords of the Fallen. So that's why I was super invested in Lords of the Fallen, and that is an okay game with good ideas.
That's okay.
Yeah, like unfortunately, like the build variety is not really there. Even like the fast builds are fairly slow.
Yeah,
But
because you're like just a big chunky guy, regardless. It's not
Okay.
nice.
Yeah, I never played it because again it was a Souls like, and I was an
it's
Souls
rough.
like.
It's fun.
it's fun, but it's kind of rough because it's like it tries to mess with the formula, and it just kind of like half-asses all of ideas.
Okay.
Like that game definitely needed a lot of polish, and the hitbox.
Well, it looks like the Lords looks
Yeah.
like they kind of figured that out a little bit. So
well, we don't know.
It's full blown
We don't know.
reboot.
yeah, so-
But they're making it rather than having that stupid looking fixed main character. you have character creation this time around, so that'll be.
That's what kind of drew me to it when they were showing it off. I was like, oh, that character creation.
Well,
is cool.
I also like the, like I grew up in Mexico. I grew up like my dad was some kind of Catholic. I forgot what kind of Christian he was.
Yeah, Catholicism, bro.
They're all the
So
same.
I always
Catholicism,
have liked. I've always had like the Christian iconography, and the Trial of Thorns just got to me.
That was really cool.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. I want them to commit to the slow bit because just hitting that slow, just nailing that slow hit just is so rewarding, especially whenever it's the big damage coming up.
Also, just hopefully they don't change, like the combo system is my favorite thing in that game, which I bring up like every 3 months because a Souls like comes up. But yeah, the if you time certain button presses, you do extra damage and also uses less stamina.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a smart way to just get better at timing.
Neo has a similar mechanic, but you have to press another button.
Yeah.
With Lords of Fallen, it's just like
If you get the rhythm right, you do that combo, do the extra damage, and save.
it rewards you for smart play.
Yeah.
And one of the things I really like, which I honestly I kind of wish Elden Ring would have adapted it. You get the lore spoken to you.
Oh, okay.
Like you pick up like little lore notes, and then they tell you like what the lore note is while you're playing around. I kind of wish
Audio logs? No.
I would have liked an audio log for like, you know, I would have to say like that shit that Milena tells you in the churches.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been like she just tells you whenever you're riding around.
I've never been a fan of audio logs. I've always, every time I pick one up, I always skip it.
Yeah.
I kind of like in Elden Ring how you can just go discover it and read it yourself. But that's just, everyone's different. Everyone's different.
I'm going to post a link in the description below because one of the first videos on this channel is about how audio logs suck. That was made 10 years ago.
Jeez.
I was gonna say, was it like after MGS5?
No, it was after I played Bioshock. Like,
well, Bioshock.
Oh my god.
I also
so
played
many.
Bioshock like 7 years after it came out, so or like I don't know, no, like 6 years because I was making that.
I just started playing Bioshock Infinite.
I like Infinite.
I'm liking it so far because I just beat.
I don't like Infinite.
Infinite is a better shooter though.
Yeah. But I just beat Plague Tale Innocence. It was fun. It was the art style is really cool. The score is really cool. The gameplay is really competitive though. Super stealthy.
You gonna get the second one too?
I borrowed my friend let me borrow it for over a year, and I just never played it.
I mean, it's a fun game. I probably beat it in 10 to 15 hours.
Okay.
It's not on my watch list.
It's not. It wasn't bad. Like there wasn't a dull moment. The story's really good. The atmosphere of it is really cool, and I'm kind of excited to see where they go with the second one.
Have you played Senua?
Hellblade?
Not yet.
Okay, I was gonna ask you if you played that one because whenever they get brought up, whenever Plague Tales gets brought up or Senua gets brought up, it's always in comparison to one to the other.
Okay.
So I wanted to get your opinion.
I have heard that the audio on Sinuous is insane. It's some of the
so
best
fucking-
audio.
It's so fucking fantastic.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
But Sinuous is on my list because it kind of tackles like
Mental
illness, and that's a huge deal to me. So.
It's whenever you have a chance to sit down and play, it's like 5 to 7 hours long.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my counter pick because it's not coming out this year, so I'm getting 30 points with that.
Yeah.
But something along the Lords of the Fallen that we didn't know was going to be.
Let's finish with that since that was also the closer of the show. But
we're going to end with my thing.
yeah,
Oh,
wait,
wait,
that's
that's
the
fine.
closer. But
That's fine.
because that like another thing that was in development hell.
Yeah, they closed.
No, I'm saying like that's your pick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I get
okay,
it.
we'll
Yeah,
get
we'll
to
get
it.
it.
But the reason why I want to bring this up now is because my other pick is Atlas Fallen, which is coincidentally
That one looked cool too.
they had this on the same show. This one's by Deck 13, who was the original developers of Lords of the Fallen, and then with the bullshit from the publisher, they left the project, and then they made the Surge 1 and 2. So they have a rich history in making Souls-likes, but Atlas Fallen, like, cool cinematic trailer, they showed 10 seconds of actual gameplay at the end there, but those 10 seconds looked cool.
I agree. That was another one that almost made my cut.
Just the mobility of how quickly they're zipping around the sands, the big spectacle attacks of just the magic and fighting big monsters. People are I don't know if the developers said anything, but a lot of hackneyed games journalists are making comparisons to Monster Hunter just based on some loose descriptions because, oh, it's multiple people attacking a big monster, so...
But will you go with Monster Hunter, or I will feel like Lost Planet will be more apt?
No, if anything, it's more like, hold on. It looks more Dragon's Dogma-y with how flashy the magic is and like how quickly the characters move. Whereas Monster Hunter is very deliberate. This one seemed looser and faster paced. So yeah, I'm super excited.
Monster Hunter doesn't seem that fast paced to me.
They increased mobility with Rise though, so it's getting there.
But I mean, I haven't played a lot of Monster Hunter. I think the most I've ever played of a Monster Hunter is like 3 hours, maybe.
I mean, to be fair, it's like either you get or you don't.
Yeah,
It's-
exactly.
Well,
You're the best person to talk to about that.
Well, now that you're getting Souls-like and you're getting that feeling of accomplishment, you might want to check out Monster Hunter again.
Really?
Just because the big thing with Monster Hunter is the feeling of accomplishment and being able to like cut down the time on your hunt.
Oh, okay.
So like the hunt that took you like 10 minutes, I'm taking you like 5 minutes because you understand the monster
Got
and
it,
what to
okay.
do with it, and then you get better equipment that helps you deal with the monster a lot faster, and that's like where the progression is. And when you
Okay.
get bored, you pick up a different weapon, and it feels like a completely different game.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Let's touch on Callisto Protocol. Something we're all excited for,
Yeah.
but like
It wasn't.
So far, the gameplay they've shown really hasn't wowed me. I mean, obviously, it looks like classic Dead Space
yeah, like
with the melee thrown in though.
I'm
like
gonna
that
be
idea.
honest. Like that's all I was wanting and expecting. But I think the mutations they should have just been kept hidden.
I agree. That would have been a cool thing to see just in game.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of those games are just atmosphere, so we need to just like the past couple trailers have been like, well, let's show off systems and like how it plays, but once we actually get in there and explore the world,
Yeah.
And honestly, we already know it's gonna play like Dead Space.
yeah,
Just like more refined, cleaner, and
it's really something we don't need to see anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah, I agree. It's all about atmosphere, and everything I've seen has been underwhelming. But I'm still gonna play it because I just like Dead Space, and I think it's gonna be a good game.
I like the future revolver. That looked cool.
That looks cool too.
Mhm.
Yeah. I fucking hated when they were showing the gameplay. He just fell for too long.
Yeah,
Like that whole sequence. Like I was like, all right, we're like 45 seconds in and nothing has happened.
it's a whole Uncharted thing.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, this is...
That really turned me off. But like, it's a day one pick for me.
The death animation though that they ended with was cool.
Yeah.
Just like the fan.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, it's also like the monster design is just fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Like
I agree.
I think I've spoken about in the podcast before, but like uncanny valley shit, just like human like things that just slightly longer or just weird things up. Like that's the thing that I find fucking scary. Like clowns are kind of scary.
Because they're not quite...
So you didn't like Killer Clowns from Outer
No.
Space?
I've mentioned clowns and I'm pointing to you because I figured you were gonna go off of that.
So you don't like to go to a clown girl honk heaven?
I would say that was that. I think I'll talk. That was a
more
cool.
surprised that that's actually a thing. I'm
You knew it was a movie though, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
right.
I know it's a movie. I'm surprised like
It's a game.
that movie's getting a game. Like that whole
Well,
thing.
I was shocked that Evil Dead got a game.
That
But
makes
honestly,
sense. That's
but
more popular.
I was just about to say it makes more sense for Evil Dead to get a game than Killer Clowns from Outer Space. But like, I lost my shit when they showed that. I was like, oh my god, one of the worst horror movies ever is getting in. That's awesome. Like, that kind of recovered Gamescom for me. Because like, oh, all right, that's kind of cool.
But the big thing they closed the show with,
Was a game we didn't think was ever coming. Dead Island 2.
Dead Island 2.
I loved the first
I'm also
one.
mad, but
I never played it.
it's like...
Did you ever play Dying Light?
Not all the way, because I'm like...
Well, the first one was by Techland, right?
Yeah,
Well,
the Dying Light... Like, the original Dead Island was made by the Dying Light devs.
Yeah.
I'm scared of heights and Dying Light, like, replayed heights and Vertigo very well, so I'm just like, no.
Dying Light 2 was one of my favorite games this year.
But yeah, the Dead Island 2 has been in development hell. It's changed developers. No one's...
And the last time we heard about it was 8 years ago.
Yeah, just people like knew it changed developers, but they've shown nothing. They've said nothing.
It was
But
like Skull and Bones.
Yeah, But then they come out like, here it is, here's gameplay.
And here's a release date.
Yeah.
That's what shook me the most.
It's like
what?
low. It's like near release date too.
Yeah.
Like it's not that far away.
It's just
No,
like,
it was an actual date. It was like
Yeah.
February. Right?
February.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like it's not that far.
Yeah.
They've
So
actually been working about it
Yeah.
in this radio silence. That's good.
and it was really cool, like to see the I think she was the director they interviewed, or a developer who came on stage and talked about it.
Yeah.
But like how like he said they've stuck close to the guns on it and haven't talked about it. And yeah, I'm excited to see what they do. It looks super cool. So I'm excited for that.
The trailer looked interesting, but it's like I didn't play the first one just because I don't care for zombies at all.
Right.
When it comes to like horror tropes, I think they're the more boring horror tropes.
That's fair.
And it's coming from a guy that loves vampires. Yeah, it looks cool.
But yeah, I was shocked just to see it.
The main reason why I was about the first one being remastered is because she said melee, mostly melee focus, and that's what I like.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the first one was mainly melee focused.
Yeah. That's a cool thing to close on. Just like that out of left field thing of just
Yeah.
like, holy shit, this thing's real. It
Yeah.
exists.
It's funny because was it last year, Keely's? Or what was the last show that we watched where the Goat Simulator ripped off?
It was Summer Game.
Summer Game Fest.
Yeah.
It's really funny that
Goat Simulator 3 ripped off the original trailer.
that we
from
got
Dead Island.
that we got the psych out, and the next Keely show we get actually
Dead Island 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was really funny. Oh man.
Wow.
But yeah, it was. I was shocked at the end. I was like, all right, cool. That kind of like saved the show in my opinion, because like we talked about earlier, the show just kind of dragged on. It was
Yeah.
a little too long, in my opinion.
2 hours is fine, especially if you're watching it during work. It's a breeze.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I agree, but
that's-
still, if we wanted to watch it during work, I would have been bored out of my mind.
like I said, the big thing for me was like a lot of the games just felt very similar to each other for me to like care about. Like, have they sprinkle like I don't know, like maybe fucking throw a racing game or just something that different viable together. That I think that would have just been like a refresher.
I think the show had good
We'll probably
variety.
get racing stuff at Game Awards, because I mean, Xbox said that in the next 12 months, the new Forza is going to be released.
Mhm.
So we'll probably get something about that either at Tokyo Game Show or.
Can we
Game
do
Awards.
a Forza, but instead of cars, you ride horses?
Forza?
Forza?
That's what Pocket Jockey's for.
That's the
So Red
Pocket
Dead's
Jockey
for
race.
me.
That's I never finished it.
A
Number
lot-
2. I mean.
A lot of people probably.
Well, it's 70 hours just for the main story.
Yeah. It's a
I-
long game.
I tapped out after the first 2.
Well, the big thing I had is like I had like no agency. It's like no, walk this way because we told you so. It's like it's an open world game. It's like no, but do this thing though because we're telling you. And then when I get a little bit of opening thing, I open a new mission. It's like no, now you're gonna be doing this thing. Yeah.
For me, it was one of those games that I played it once, I beat it once. I tried to revisit it when I bought my PC because I was just trying out games, and like the second time around, I just gonna get into it again. I was like, no, I can't devote this time.
Hold
should
on, let me
download-
check these pockets for 10 seconds.
You should download the mod that gives horses big meters.
Guys, we gotta talk about the real biggest news out of Gamescom. Hideo Kojima
And his
Ah,
podcast.
announcing a Spotify
I
podcast.
swear, man.
Are you gonna invite us, Kojima?
I feel like at this point, Keely's like, all right, what can I get Kojima to do at my event? Because he's always at everyone.
Well, they are buddies.
Well, they're bots.
I get it,
Keely's gonna be doing a segment for the podcast, so
but it was just what I'm saying. It's like I feel like this could have just been like an announcement on another day or
I
something.
mean, think about
but
it.
again, like you said, they're buddies, so
I mean, think about it this way: like, if you were friends with Jamie Lee Curtis, wouldn't you want to like plug up all her shit?
that's fair. That's fair. Okay, you make a good point. Yeah.
Also, like I know to be disappointed as soon as I see Kojima now.
Oh yeah,
because-
absolutely.
Whenever he does a trailer, he likes the surprise and the shock, so he just they just show the trailer. Whenever he shows up, you know he has nothing to show.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. He announced the Xbox game, and then like if he's showing up rather than just going straight to the trailer, I'm like, oh, he has nothing to show. This is gonna be some bullshit. And
Yeah.
it was.
It's fine.
It
I mean,
was.
I'll check it out just because it's Kojima and Keely. I'll check it out, but I
But
mean,
I will honestly.
Are they gonna dub over him?
Probably.
Are there gonna be subtitles with the video?
What I
I think
Is
they're
there
gonna
an
do
interpreter?
what I would would recommend you to do instead of like checking out his podcast would be
Check out the
subscribing-
Nerdington post.
Check out well did that. And, so
Check out Jordan Peterson.
subscribe to Sakurai's YouTube channel.
Oh, yes.
Who's that?
Sakurai is the guy behind like Kirby and Smash Bros.
Oh, okay, cool.
Masahiro Sakurai.
Oh,
This man is dying
He
for nerds.
started.
All right, he's been hospitalized. He's
He
gone to
almost
work
went through a
with
divorce. He started a YouTube channel that's going to be talking about the game development.
Okay, yeah.
Like the reasons like how
I'll check it out, yeah.
why this thing works, why this thing doesn't work.
Oh, that's
like,
really
his
cool. Yeah,
process
I'll check that
behind
out.
things.
It's like Harada's bar.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I'll check that out. That sounds really cool.
He hasn't put anything yet, if I remember correctly, but like keep an eye on it. Like,
This might be like the new Iwata Asks.
God, I miss it.
But it might be. Have you picked up the book? It's on my Amazon wish list.
It's I have
Maybe
that.
it's
I have that. I have the Kojima book, and the new Janet McCurdy book.
Well, I just ordered that, man. Dude, we gotta talk iCarly later, because friggin' that show.
Oh, I never watched it.
Oh, because she's just so funny. So there's gotta be a little bit of sadness, and I knew there was some sadness, and then now we're getting the full reveal of how sad her whole situation was. It's great. I'm excited for this book, and it kind of ties into why I think Nathan Fielder's new show is so fucking gross.
I fucking love it. I love the rehearsal so much.
It's not a funny show, though. It's so fucked, man.
Well,
It's so manipulative and disturbing.
do you
Like when Angela calls him like a liar and a manipulator, I'm like, yeah, 100%.
do you
not
like
funny.
secondhand embarrassment?
Yeah, not really.
I like.
I get the appeal of it, but
I
it's
like-
just,
I love secondhand embarrassment. Like, hey, that's not me. It's you. So like, I enjoy the rehearsal quite a bit. But it's just like they just have sort of behind it.
yeah.
But no, I totally get that point of view. It's like just
Especially-
manipulating the thing.
Because, especially when they start introducing the children, I'm like, oh, this is fucking weird.
Mm.
And then last week's episode was specifically about how it's fucking up one of the child actors.
Yeah.
And it's the same week Jeanette McCurdy's book came out of like how child acting fucked her up.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like, oh god damn it, man. This is it.
One thing, like what it's like, it was like a snippet of an interview, so I really want to find like the actual interview completely, just in full to get the full context. But apparently he just says like, yeah, it's just like we don't really have to try that hard. Like whenever you point a camera at somebody, they just start acting weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's gross, but it's super fascinating.
Yeah.
I am into watching this season because I love how they. Because you thought Angela was a gross person in that show, and then you meet the Judaism teacher, and then the way
At
she
first
just,
you're rooting for her, and then it's like, wait, never
and then at the end
never
she's just
mind.
like, oh yeah, like I don't care that Israel killed 40 civilians, like they're in the right to do that.
Yeah.
And then Nathan's just like,
Oh.
okay.
Mhm.
And then the
You have
Judaism
a-
teacher kept pressing him like, how do you feel about Israel?
Yeah.
You support Israel, right?
Yeah.
You're
It's like, hey,
Jewish,
you have a
support
big
Israel?"
platform, you should talk about it.
Yeah. And he just kept trying to be evasive, and then the episode just that. It's
So next minute,
What are we talking about?
it's a show called The Rehearsal. Basically, there's like
Is it like a documentary or is
Isn't
it like a sitcom?
it's a weird documentary thing. So basically, the way it works is like if you're pressed about something, like for example, you have a big secret to tell your wife, but you don't know how to go about it. You hire him, and he hires an actress that mirrors how your wife acts,
yeah.
and then you will play a scenario of telling the secret. And depending on the different permutations that could happen, for example, she takes it very well, you go on with your life.
And
She takes it really hard, you play that out. And you play that out over and over and over. But the thing is, it's like he will make a replica of your house.
yeah,
that way you
like a
can
full scale replica. He'll have the actor playing your wife stalk your wife, and like it's real fucked up. He gets everyone who's like the actor playing the bartender. He'll send that person to bartending school or have them like stalk a real bartender. It's super fucked up.
What's this called?
The rehearsal.
Okay, I gotta check
Yeah.
this out.
Yeah. It's
It's everything I hate about voyeurism culture.
You know why you don't like it?
And they play it up and amplify.
You know why you're not super cool?
I know. I don't like
Because you don't like. Okay. Because you don't like Michael Cage game.
David Cage.
David Cage, yeah.
Of like that inhumanity of
Yeah.
just we're pretending to be real people.
Yeah. No,
Hand it down.
it's hilarious, but honestly, like a huge chunk of the laughter,
It's not hilarious.
the laughter, the laughter.
It's like
joy or
painful?
whatever, it's
Yeah.
just the absurdity. Like if you find absurd comedy, like your thing, you're gonna like this. But if you don't get it, you
It's like
you probably-
uneasy and
yeah.
okay.
There's like some really uneasiness to it.
Okay.
It's all uneasy.
Mm.
It's all uneasy.
Mhm.
Because it's this absurd concept that they're putting real people into. Of just, I mean, I love Nathan's story arc
Mhm.
is funny. I'm enjoying that. But
The people around him.
the real people, because they are fucking with real people's feelings. I mean,